Here are 7 hidden traits only INFPs have. Number 1. They feel emotions more deeply than they let on. INFPs are like emotional volcanoes, calm and composed on the surface, but inside there's a whole universe of feelings simmering, swirling, and sometimes threatening to erupt. They feel everything deeply: joy, sadness, empathy, awe, you name it. And they don't just feel it, they analyze it, explore it, and often replay it in their minds until it becomes a whole story or lesson. The tricky part? They don't always show it. INFPs are private about their inner emotional world. They don't want to overwhelm others, appear dramatic, or risk being misunderstood. So, while their friends might think they're chill or even detached, the truth is that their inner emotional life is intense, rich, and endlessly complex. This depth of feeling also makes them incredibly empathetic. They can sense what others are going through, often before anyone else says a word, and feel compelled to understand, help, or comfort even quietly. But it can also be exhausting. They absorb emotions like a sponge, and sometimes struggle to separate their own feelings from everyone else's. Number 2. They live in a world of imagination and possibilities. INFPs don't just think about the world as it is, they live in a parallel universe made of what could be. Their minds are constantly exploring possibilities, creating scenarios, and imagining how life might be different, better, or more meaningful. One moment they're thinking about a simple daily choice, and the next they're mentally designing entire stories, alternate realities, or life paths. This imaginative world isn't escapism, it's a playground for creativity, problem-solving, and self-expression. It's how INFPs dream up art, writing solutions, or even life goals that feel authentic and aligned with their values. They notice connections and patterns that most people completely miss, turning small details into rich, meaningful insights. The funny part? They can get lost in it. You might ask an INFP a simple question like, "What do you want for dinner?" and end up hearing a 10-minute speculative scenario about the ethics of food production, the history of your favorite dish, and a philosophical reflection on flavor itself. This imaginative thinking makes INFPs endlessly creative, empathetic, and insightful. They see potential in people, situations, and ideas that others might miss, always wondering, what if things were just a little more magical, meaningful, or true to who we really are? Number 3. They're driven by personal values above all else. INFPs aren't motivated by money, status, or popularity. They're motivated by authenticity and their deep-held personal values. Their inner compass guides every choice, action, and interaction, often in ways that other people don't immediately understand. For an INFP, doing something just because doesn't cut it. Every decision is filtered through their sense of what's meaningful, fair, and true to who they are. That's why they can seem stubborn or indecisive to outsiders. They're not refusing to act, they're making sure their actions align with their moral and emotional standards. This values-driven approach also explains their loyalty and passion. When an INFP believes in a person, cause, or idea, they commit wholeheartedly, quietly, and sincerely, without needing recognition. Conversely, if something violates their values, even subtly, it can deeply bother them, often more than anyone realizes. The beauty of this trait? It gives INFPs a kind of integrity and authenticity that's rare. They live according to their principles, not because someone told them to, but because it feels right. That's what makes their creativity, empathy, and vision so compelling. It's always grounded in a personal truth they won't compromise. Number 4. They avoid conflict, but will defend what matters fiercely. INFPs are the masters of peaceful navigation. They don't thrive on confrontation, arguments, or drama. In fact, they usually go out of their way to avoid it. They value harmony, empathy, and understanding, preferring calm conversations and quiet reflection over shouting matches. But here's the twist. Push them too far or threaten something they truly care about, and their gentle exterior vanishes. Suddenly, they become fiercely protective, standing up for their values, loved ones, or deeply held beliefs with a quiet but unshakable strength. It's not about being aggressive, it's about being principled. This combination makes them both approachable and formidable. Most people don't even see it coming. One moment the INFP is nodding along, contemplative and serene. The next, they're calmly dismantling flawed arguments and defending what matters with precision, integrity, and passion. Essentially, INFPs fight smart, not loud. They choose their battles carefully, but when they do engage, they leave no doubt that their heart and principles are fully invested. That's why people who earn their respect feel genuinely supported, and why crossing them on core issues is a mistake few forget. Number 5. They can disappear into solitude for mental and emotional recharge. INFPs are social creatures in theory, but in practice, their energy is finite, and the world can be a lot. That's why they often retreat into solitude, not out of loneliness, but out of necessity. Alone time is their recharge station, their mental spa, and their emotional reset button all in one. During these solo moments, they process feelings, untangle thoughts, and explore ideas or creative projects without outside interference. It's not isolation for isolation's sake, it's strategic restoration. Without this time, they get overwhelmed, emotionally drained, or just plain cranky. The irony, even in solitude, their mind is active. They reflect on relationships, future goals, moral dilemmas, and creative concepts. Sometimes they get so absorbed in this inner world that hours pass without them noticing. Number 6. They notice details and meanings that most people miss. INFPs are like emotional archaeologists, quietly digging through everyday moments to uncover hidden meaning. While most people scroll past small gestures, subtle words, or tiny patterns, INFPs notice them instantly and remember them forever. A fleeting glance, an offhand comment, or a small act of kindness. They see it, analyze it, and store it in their mental emotional library. This attention to detail makes them incredibly empathetic and thoughtful. They remember the little things that make others feel seen, appreciated, and understood. Their knack for noticing the subtle also extends to abstract patterns. INFPs often pick up on themes in behavior, art, or situations that most people would completely overlook. That's why they're often so creative, insightful, and perceptive. They're constantly connecting the dots between emotions, actions, and possibilities. The fun part? They rarely broadcast this awareness. Most of the time, INFPs quietly integrate what they notice into their understanding of people and the world, using it to guide their choices, art, or advice. To outsiders, it seems like intuition or magic, but really it's just their deep attention to the details that everyone else misses. Number 7. They're quietly idealistic, always dreaming of a better world. INFPs are dreamers, not the flaky daydream once-in-a-while type, but the deeply idealistic kind who imagine how the world could be, not just how it is. They see potential everywhere, in people, in ideas, in society, and they quietly yearn for a world that aligns with their values of fairness, empathy, and authenticity. This idealism isn't about being unrealistic, it's about noticing what's missing, what could improve, and how things could feel more meaningful. While others accept compromise or settle for the status quo, INFPs keep nudging themselves and sometimes those around them to aim higher, care more, and act with integrity. They rarely broadcast this dreaminess. Instead, it fuels their creativity, art, writing, and the way they interact with others. They might write a poem, sketch a concept, or have a quiet conversation about how the world could be gentler, more just, or more beautiful. The beauty of their idealism? It's not loud, preachy, or self-serving. It's subtle, persistent, and inspiring. They may never change the world single-handedly, but the people around them often carry pieces of their vision forward. INFPs plant seeds of possibility wherever they go, quietly hoping the world grows into the better place they imagine. These videos will be really helpful for you.